What is going on, everybody? It is Andre Dorsey here with the Dmgaming Morning Show, y'all. You gotta excuse me, I don't have any audio clips, no sound effects, nothing like that going on right now. And I am late doing this, y'all. Kind of slept in this morning. Had a late night. Early morning. I was hoping that my laptop would be here today, but y'all, I forgot it was Columbus Day. So guess what? The mail people don't run. It was coming via UPS, but they're sending it UPS SurePost, which means that the post office is delivering it. I don't know. I may go try to pick it up from the warehouse later today. I don't know. We'll see. But I digress. The morning show has to go on. I debated whether or not to do it, y'all, because right now I don't have the means of getting all the information that I need to do a wonderful show. But the show must go on, like I said. So, starting out with some college football news that I know for sure, and that the Miami Hurricanes remain on top of the world in a sense after coming off a win against rival Florida State. Question now is the U back, or is the U coming back? I mean, because even watching the game, when they got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on a touchdown, it's like, yeah, that's the U.S. Also seeing the defensive player playing air guitar with on the tackle that he made on the Florida State player's leg, like that was pretty funny. That was pretty Miami-esque, if I will say so myself. Also, you had Alabama winning, you had Clemson winning, and we had an upset. Yeah. So it's been an eventful week in the college football world. What do you guys think about the Iowa State upset against OU? What do you think about that? Because here's the thing, in this college football, we know that any given Saturday, anybody can win at any given time. Is Iowa State a good team? Are they a bad team? Because let's be real. Texas comes out, open up the season against Maryland. They lose. Texas plays USC, goes in overtime, almost wins that game, still loses. They play Iowa State, and to me, they barely won that game. But Iowa State bounces back and beats OU. So my question is OU overrated? And are they overrated because of Baker Mayfield and because they beat Ohio State? Which, let's be real, who has Ohio State played aside from Oklahoma? Is Ohio State overrated? Or did Iowa State just come out and play a game that Oklahoma just wasn't prepared for? Because now people are saying, well, Texas beat Iowa State beat OU, so Texas should be OU, right? No, not so fast there. Like Lee Corso says, not so fast there, my friend. Nah, I don't know, man. And then you got to look at the Big 12. TCU undefeated still. Do they knock off Texas? Do they knock off OU? It's a toss-up, man, and it's an exciting toss-up. This is what we live for as far as college football is concerned. One of those things where it's got to be fun to be a college football fan right now. It's got to be fun. Louisville falling off the ranks of the unbeaten, as we know, in their Thursday night matchup against North Carolina State, which we told you that it would come to that. LSU beating Florida, which I told you it would come to that. I told you that the Bayou Bengals would get serious. And then even with the Clemson game, Wake Forest, they didn't just do too shabby. It wasn't a blowout game. Told you Wake Forest would come with it. Unfortunately, they didn't come away with the win. Texas A&M and Alabama, another game. Wasn't a blowout victory. We told you A&M would come with it. So it's very interesting to see how these teams are playing this season. Very good football coming up, y'all. I'm excited for it. College football season is alive and well. So definitely looking forward to next week's game. I'll do the show later on in the week when I got my stuff, my equipment that I need to get those stats and schedules and numbers in front of you that you so desperately need. That way we could do service some justice. But those are the headlines for college football. As far as the NFL is concerned, wow, where do we start? Deshaun Watson passing for 5 touchdowns against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, had somebody comment on one of the videos saying, what about Deshaun Watson? And let's be clear. Everybody knows. I never said Deshaun Watson wasn't a good player. I, in fact, said the opposite. I said, I know he's a good player. I'm just not going to jump on the bandwagon because he's played very well offensively against two teams that are almost last in the NFL as far as defenses go. The Patriots being 32nd in pass defense. Titans at the time being 28th. So I wasn't going to jump on the bandwagon of Deshaun Watson. And what my exact words were, let's see what he does against Kansas City, against a better defense, against a team that is very good. And he showed out with 5 passing touchdowns. They still lost the game, but 5 passing touchdowns. So, okay, maybe this kid is for real. We know that he's good. And then also, yeah, let's celebrate him having a phenomenal rookie year so far. But the telltale sign of is a player legit or not falls into next year in their sophomore season. Like Dak Prescott doing pretty well for himself this year. Ezekiel Elliott bouncing back from struggling in the opening weeks of the NFL season. But yet and still, let's not overshadow the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are still unbeaten. Playing very well. Congratulations to them. Baltimore getting on the board in the win column. And the beatings. New York Giants faced off against the Chargers, in which the Chargers come out with the W. The Giants still haven't won a game yet. That is not very Giant-esque. And people are upset. But in 2 of those significant losses, being the Giants, who could have got that goose egg taken away, and then the Houston Texans, who could have pulled an upset, lost 2 big players. Odell Beckham with a broken ankle, and J.J. Watt with a broken leg. Very bad for both teams, very bad for both programs, and especially the Giants, seeing as that all their receivers are essentially injured in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I told y'all last time, man, we see so many injuries. What's going on, Tim? We see so many injuries now in the league, man, and it's like it's running rampant. I don't know if you could chalk that up to social media and the access that we have to information, or if you can chalk that up to players just either aren't preparing or the muscles are getting stronger than the tendons and things of that nature, not training properly, or just the sheer exertion, or even age. Because let's be real, J.J. Watt's been in the league for, 7, 8 years? He's a clear veteran. A lot of players don't even make it past 5 years in the league. You see what I'm saying? He's approaching 10 years in the league. And with his style of play, it's very physical. It's very demanding. I'm sure he's played through injuries, as we know. You know, playing through injuries, we're not notified about it to the end of the season that, oh, he had surgery on this, he had surgery on that. And then Odell Beckham, the injury to his ankle being broken is the exact same ankle that was hurt in the preseason. So you have to question, did they rush him back? Did they bring him back too early? You know? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Tim's that got access to the chat. It was a good week. It was a good week in football. Some very good games, both college and NFL. Like I said, y'all, apologize that I don't have the stats in front of me right now. Doing this from my cell phone because, well, my laptop's out of commission. And because it's Christopher Columbus Day, I won't get it till tomorrow. Unless I try to go pick it up today. But I digress. The show must go on. In NFL news also, Mike Pence, Vice President of the United States, made a showing coming to the Colts game and then leaving and making a tweet that for players disrespecting the flag, he's not going to take any part of anything that has to go on with that. And what's interesting about that, Eric Reed made it known that the picture that he posted was from 3 years ago. And that Mike Pence hadn't been to a Colts game in 3 years. I don't know if his sources are accurate or not, but even when I saw it, I thought this is a PR stunt. This is something, you know, that he didn't have to do that. You went to a 49ers game. You knew that they were going to protest. They have been protesting all year long. Now, let's set the record straight, y'all, because I'm getting so tired of ESPN radio, y'all. I'm almost to the point where I can't even listen to the first and last radio show in the morning with Mike Golick Jr. simply because they keep calling it an anthem. They keep calling it an anthem protest. It is not an anthem protest. They're not protesting the anthem. They are protesting during the anthem. Why are they protesting during the anthem? Because that seems to be the only way to get America's attention that there are problems in this country. And let's be frank, when is a good time for black people to protest? When is it? They've done it violently. That didn't get any response. They've done it quietly. That didn't get a response. Even so subtle as to take a simple knee without saying a word. And people are still irate. You don't hear a lot of military people coming out talking down on them taking the knee. And I know a lot of people are going to get upset about this because it seems as if everybody's using the military as a shield to cover up themselves so that they don't have to deal with the issues. Because let's be real. The majority of the people who are in the military have gotten in these ways. Some of them joined the military because they didn't have anywhere else to go in life. Their parents forced them to because they stayed in trouble. You have a lot of people who got into the military to pay for their school. And then you got a lot of people who were drafted into the war, the veterans and things of that nature. They didn't have a choice. Just like now, if you voted, you're on that voter registration card and they call a draft, you don't have a choice. Our president, Donald Trump, dodging the draft. Nobody talks about that. And then you do have some. It's just a family tradition. They're not doing it because they so much love this country, but more so because it's just a family tradition. Well, my father was in the military, my grandfather, his father, so on and so forth. But I know that you do have some that literally joined the military because they love this country so much. But if you look at the oath for the military personnel, their oath includes along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they swore to protect the country, the freedom, and the Constitution. I haven't seen the flag in there anywhere. So if they're swearing to uphold the Constitution, then it is in our constitutional right with the First Amendment of freedom of speech. And need I remind people that there is no law that we should stand for the flag. But the way that it is going right now is that people are almost to the point where they're I wouldn't be surprised if they pass the law, which they shouldn't be able to, because if you look in the flag code, it clearly tells you that you can't basically pass a law to make people stand for the flag because it would be in violation of the First Amendment. And it's even more so upsetting the fact that we're here almost on the brink of war with North Korea. And people made the comment that go try not standing for the flag in North Korea and sees what happens. Well, look what's happening in our own country. Yo, no, people aren't killing people because they're not standing for the flag. But if they could, I'm pretty sure somebody would. And I'm surprised it hadn't happened yet. If people could have their way. I literally had a conversation, y'all, with someone on social media. And I asked him, I said, if you can make it law, because he was in disagreement with it. He felt like they should stand for the flag. And I said, if you could make a law to where they had to stand for the flag, would you make that law? And his answer was no. He said, no, I wouldn't make that a law. I said, okay, so if you would make it a law, why are you talking about it now? Why are you talking about it? And for some of y'all who may not understand my point is, why are you complaining about people standing for the flag if you had power to make it a law and you wouldn't? That means that you clearly acknowledge the fact that they have the right to not stand for the flag, and thus, what's your argument? Where is your argument? Don't tell me it's for the military. Like I said, the military died for freedom, and part of that freedom is people being able to use their First Amendment right to stand or not stand. And let's be real. Let's be real. Let's get to the point, the core of the issue here. Why are we still talking about the flag and the anthem and not the reason for the protest in the first place? Why are we not talking about the reason they're kneeling? Mike Pence goes to the game. He has no problem tweeting out, oh, I'm leaving the game because they knelt during the national anthem. Why are you not talking about the reason why they are kneeling, Mr. Vice President? Or even Mr. President? You calling them SOBs. Why are you not talking about the reason why they are kneeling? You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Sports Talk Radio and ESPN and these other broadcasters. Everybody's talking and they're calling it an anthem protest. They are not protesting the anthem. Rosa Parks wasn't protesting the bus. She was protesting the injustice. The bus is just a catalyst. The anthem, the flag is just a catalyst. Need I remind people that these are American citizens who pay taxes to their country, who are law-abiding citizens. Do you get what I'm saying? We are Americans. Or at least we want to be Americans. Some people aren't treated as Americans, and that is the issue. I'm almost to the point where I'm just sick of hearing it. I literally just had to turn off the radio because it angered me that much that they are still calling this an anthem protest, that they are still not talking about the true issues at heart. Mike Golick Jr., shame on you. ESPN, shame on you. Because you have a platform that you can tell the true issues. You can talk about the true issues. The only two people I seen who seem to be talking about the true issues, or even three, is Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, and the other guy from First Take. I can't remember his name. My mind went blank. It's not Skip. It's not Stephen A. Smith. I can't remember his name, y'all. My mind went straight blank. Y'all know who I'm talking about. His co-host. Those seem to be the only three that I ever see ever talking about the truth of the situation. Even down to the Colin Kaepernick situation, y'all. Now people are coming out trying to say that Colin Kaepernick is saying that if he can play in the league, that he'll stand for the anthem. And it came out that this was said a long time ago. But people are making it out like he's trying to say it now, like he's trying to buy in and give up. No, it's evident that Colin Kaepernick would love to play in the league. And I'm pretty sure if he did, that he probably would still stand for the anthem. I don't know. Because he made it clear that his protesting days are over with. He even said it himself. He's made his statement and he's done it loud and clear. That is evident. That is evident. It even goes so far as Jerry Jones coming out saying that if any of the Cowboys protest, that they're not going to play. I call baloney. If I were the Cowboys, I would call his bluff. First of all, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Even more so now because of the fact that, hey, this guy is calling y'all out. How do you wish-wash like that, being Jerry Jones? You did the kneeling with your players. And I told y'all, I said, no, I'm not accepting what the Cowboys did when the majority of the NFL did what they did in opposition of what Trump said. The Cowboys, all the other teams did it during the anthem, not the Cowboys. The Cowboys decided to do it before the anthem. We're going to be different. We're not going to do this like everybody else in the NFL. And I didn't accept that. People was like, oh, well, that's fine. They still got their message across there. No, because the thing that they were doing, the NFL was doing, was against what Trump said, calling the players SOBs. This was for the NFL to unite and support each other, despite their disagreements, despite their differences. So the Cowboys, to me, was a cop-out by them kneeling before the anthem. No, I'm not okay with that. And it comes out even more so now, Jerry Jones coming out literally saying, if a player kneels, he's not going to play. Are you serious? I would challenge Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dez Bryant to all take a knee and see if Jerry Jones lives up to that statement. But you know what? They're not going to do it because Dez Bryant already made it clear, I got mouths to feed, as if it costs millions of dollars to feed your children. And then Dak Prescott pretty much being silent on the issue. Ezekiel Elliott, he can't seem to stay out of trouble anyway. And that's even more upsetting. You can start a guy whose name has been thrown around in the domestic violence. You can start a guy who's literally on camera raising up a girl's shirt. But, oh, no, you have an issue with somebody kneeling during the anthem. That's where you draw the line. Domestic violence isn't an issue for you. That's where you draw the line, is the flag. So it even goes even more so to prove my point that people are putting the flag before flesh and blood, before human beings. And that's the real issue. That's my real problem. Stop putting a piece of cloth before humans, before flesh and blood, because that's what you're doing. You want to be real about our men and women who have died? You want to use that as a crutch? No, take that crutch away. They didn't die for a piece of cloth. They died for flesh and blood. They died for flesh and blood. I understand it. It's what the flag represents. But what do the people represent? You take away the people, you don't have a nation. You take away the people, you don't have a flag. Without the people, the flag means nothing. It doesn't say we the flag in the Constitution, in the Declaration. It says we the people. Flesh and blood. Christ didn't hang on a cross and die for a piece of cloth. He died for flesh and blood. He died for souls. He died for people. And it's evident, it's straight clear that people who have an issue with it, it's not about the military. It's not. To me, that's just a cover up. Because like I said, even the military people know the oath that they take is to uphold the Constitution. Our law enforcement, same thing. The Constitution is the foundation of this country, not the flag. And I tell people all the time, go look up, even if they wanted to protest the anthem, they have a right to, as blacks, to protest an anthem if they wanted to, because if you look up the real words to the anthem, no one could save the hireling and the slave. The anthem wasn't written with blacks in mind. Neither was the flag designed and flown. And you want to talk about people that's dying for the country? What about those blacks who went to war for this country only to come back to be hung, lynched, murdered? What about those people? Or even on the day today that we call Columbus Day, we are literally celebrating the genocide and lies. Yes. Columbus came to this country and didn't even, they said he didn't even step foot in America. But let's say that he did for the sake of history. Annihilating, almost killing off an entire race of people in the Native Americans. Leading to rape and all kinds of disgusting acts. Yet we celebrate this man. Why? And how ill is it to say that he discovered America? How can you discover something where people are already there? That's like you walking into my house and saying, I've discovered this house. Yeah, you discovered it, but it already existed. It doesn't make it your house. You discovered it in the sense that you didn't know it was there. And I understand that. He discovered America because America, hey, he never knew it was there. He discovered it, but they put it in the sense that he founded it, that he's the reason that it's here. And then, like I said, almost committing genocide, almost wiping out, and actually are wiping out some tribes, millions of people, rape, murder, and yet we celebrate him today, or they. I petition this day to be called Native Americans Day in honor of the Native Americans who lost their lives to that monster, to that tyrant. It's a shame. But that's where we sit today. So Jerry Jones, I'm calling out the Cowboys. But like I said, I know it's not going to happen. Ezekiel Elliott, oh my gosh, he's so immature. But here's the thing. People love him. People support him because of him helping their team to win at the end of the day. When did our values go out the window for a win? And money, because that's all of this is about money. Trump doing what he's doing, let's be real, y'all. He has a vendetta against the NFL. He does. You don't see him going out attacking the NBA. You don't see him attacking MLB with the player that knelt. Why is he attacking the NFL so much? He has a vendetta against the NFL. Because the NFL beat out the USFL, who Trump owned. He has a vendetta. He's abusing his power. He's abusing his authority. And people say, oh, you're just so against Trump. My thing is this. If you're any president, I don't like him. I don't like any of them. Why, you may ask? I didn't even like Obama. Why? Because why don't we have free healthcare in this country? Why is big pharmaceuticals still running the nation? Why are these companies allowed to do and get away with the things that they're allowed to do and get away with? You see what I'm saying? Why are countries who have less money, less means than we have better resources for their people? Until a president comes into office and gets rid of the Federal Reserve, like Kennedy did before he was assassinated. And let's be real, it was an inside job. Since then, nobody's challenged the Federal Reserve, who has nothing to do with the federal system. The Federal Reserve is as federal as Federal Express, FedEx. People have to educate themselves, man. When a president comes in and gets rid of that, provides free health care for its people, then I will applaud that president. That will be the greatest president in American history, because that president will be doing something for the people. But no, these guys get in office because of lobbying, because they're bought, they're paid, they're bought with a price by big time companies in pharmaceutical industries and things of that nature. Companies like Monsanto. The rabbit hole runs deep, but if you follow the money, follow the money. Jerry Jones, he's doing all of this for publicity, anything to keep the Cowboys in the spotlight. Because I guarantee you, if those players walk, he doesn't have a team. People say, oh, the fans have the power. No, my friend. The players do. I used to work corrections, y'all. And one thing that I noticed, and it was terrifying when I realized this, when I came into this realization, that if these inmates wanted to take over this prison, they could do it. And the only thing that we could do to stop them was put a bullet in them. It's sad to say, but that's true. And when I came to that realization that if these guys wanted to take this jail over, they could, and there's nothing we could do about it. Simply because we were clearly outnumbered 3-1, 5-1, 8-1, really. When I came to that realization, I was terrified. I left corrections for that reason. Because there was going to come a day when they would realize that and they would come together. I didn't want to be there for that day. Needless to say, guys, when I left, that day came. Not right after. It came eventually. A riot. Guards were hurt. No. Not on my watch. I'm leaving. I'm not signing up for this. It's the same way with the NFL. It's the same way in society. Jerry Jones is starting to realize that, hey, these players have some power. They're starting to realize that they have the power. Let me snuff it out before they get too full of themselves or before they really stand up. And that's why I'm challenging those Cowboy players. If you truly are for the people, take a knee and see what Jerry Jones does. Take a knee and see what he does. You've already made your millions. You're on contract. It is nowhere in your contract that you have to stand for that anthem. They can't legally make you stand for that anthem. They can make you come out on the field for it. But it is against your First Amendment. They cannot violate your First Amendment right to make you stand and put your hand over your heart for that anthem. They can't do it. It's a scare tactic. And the Cowboys are scared. But like I said, who's on that team that's going to do that? Ezekiel's not. Prescott's not. Dez Bryant, we know he's not. For the love of money. People who will sell their soul. And that's exactly what's going on. People may not like me talking about it. People might not like me saying that. But y'all, on the DM Gaming Morning Show, we keep it real. I've always kept it real. I've kept it real with y'all on everything that's going on in my life, my thoughts. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to shy away from it. I get tired of people using the military outlet. Everybody in America has family in the military. Everybody in America has family or relatives who have served our country. Stop using that as a cover up. Because like I said, they didn't serve for a flag. They served for the people and the Constitution. Why do you think if they care for the anthem so much, why do you not question why they don't just make a law to where people have to stand for the anthem? Because they can't, because it violates the First Amendment. So all of this is just a tactic to shut people up. Because let's be real, if they have to face the reason why these individuals are kneeling in the first place, then it's going to expose a lot of people and it's going to cause them to make changes that they don't want to make. Because right now, privilege is at the top of the totem pole. That privilege sits at the top of the totem pole and nobody wants to be taken from the top. They don't want to share that power. No, because let's be real. The truly wealthy, they don't want money. They already have money. They want power. They want control. They don't want equality. Sorry that this is taking up most of the DM Gaming Morning Show, but y'all, this is something that I feel very passionate about because I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the deception. I'm tired of the tricks. I'm tired of the games. Mike Pence should be ashamed of himself for what he did. You knew when you went to that 49ers game that they were going to protest. Eric Reed has been there since day one with Colin Kaepernick. You knew he was going to do it. And in the media still calling it an anthem protest. They're not protesting the anthem. Mike Pence going to the game, the 49ers game, expecting them not to kneel. It's just like you going into a lion's den saying, if I get bit, I'm walking out of here. You're going to get bit. You're going to get scratched. Something is going to happen to you. You knew it was going to happen. You knew that was going to happen. Straight PR stunt. And what's amazing is I think that people are starting to wake up to what's really going on. At first, people were like in shock, but now that shock has settled and people are starting to see that they're playing off of this. They're playing off of this. Anything to rile up the American people. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you're not careful, because the government has even gone on record of saying never let a good crisis go to waste. You are slowly giving away your constitutional rights. It's going to come a time in America where you don't have a constitution anymore. And the government will be in control. We will not live in a democracy. We will live in a dictatorship. There are far more pressing issues going on. When have you ever seen a president put so much energy into an NFL team not standing for the anthem? These things have happened in history. You look at the Olympics with the black fist. There's been protests in basketball. There's been protests in baseball. This isn't the first time. It's the first time a president has made this much of a show out of it. Even the vice president. What did you expect to get out of that tweet, Mike Pence? People to rally behind you and say, yeah. You knew they were protesting. Why did you go to the game in the first place, Mike Pence? All these people boycotting the NFL saying they're not going to watch the games and go to the games. Why would you even go in the first place? You literally wasted taxpayer dollars for a PR stunt, in my opinion. And it's sad. It's disgusting. It's distasteful. And for people who don't realize it, go look up how much it cost for the vice president to go places, even up the street for Starbucks. It costs money. It may cost you $3 in gas. It costs several thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for the president or vice president to even go up the street because of the security that's needed. Go look it up. Where does that money come from? Your taxes. So you literally paid for a PR stunt. It's appalling. It's upsetting. But that's the world we live in now. Everybody's offended by everything. Dak Prescott is rumored to sign with Danum Yogurt. Dak Prescott should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. And people say, oh, no, go get that money. No. Dak Prescott, I don't understand how he, being an African-American man, well, he is mixed. Let's be real. Dak Prescott is mixed. I'm not gonna get on him for that. You do your thing, Dak Prescott. Disregard my remarks. I'm not gonna say that. People are gonna be upset about that if I say what I really feel about that. So much for NFL unity. Because let's be real, Cam Newton's comments, they weren't sexist. Cam Newton said what every man in America thought at the same time that reporter said what she said. And then I told y'all that the media was not going to say anything about her comments. They didn't. They publicized it. They put it out in forums, in writing, but they didn't take the time out of their show to talk about it like they did against Cam Newton. And since when do we hold an NFL quarterback to a higher standard than the president of the United States? Because let's be real. Donald Trump, before he was elected president, was on camera for talking about grabbing women by their private parts. And yet y'all still voted him for president. Those same women, a lot of women voted for him, mind you. Oh, but when Cam Newton comes out and says something that you deem sexist, women attack him with fury and blind rage. Wow. If I compare what Cam Newton said to what Donald Trump said, I think everybody would say that what Donald Trump said was horridly more offensive. Yet women still voted for him. So I don't want to hear that sexist crap. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that. Because I guarantee you some of those same women who bashed Cam Newton for what he said voted for Donald Trump. And what's even more appalling is some of those same women who voted for Donald Trump had a woman running for president that they could have put a woman in office and didn't vote for. They voted for the guy that talked about grabbing women by their genitalia. I don't want to hear that sexist crap because you had a chance to stand up for women for real. Look at Hillary Clinton. Is she the best person in the world? Probably not, but we've all made mistakes. Donald Trump is far from perfect either. It's not a competition of who's better as a person because we know all these politicians are corrupt. They've all done their dirt to get to where they are. But Hillary Clinton, if you're looking at her from a woman's standpoint, she has a family. She has been in the White House. She stood beside her man despite what he did. They have kids together. She's strong, if you ask me. She is a strong, powerful woman. Would women not want a woman? And I would have loved to have seen a woman run this country. Let's see it. Men have run this country for so long. I'm ready to see a woman run this country. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe we can finally get stuff done. I don't know. Or maybe they'll just be bought out just like the men. Nothing's changed. But we'll never know. Or we won't know anytime soon because women had a chance to put a woman in the White House and they failed to do that. Instead, they put a sexist, racist bigot in the White House. And I'm calling him that because he has shown that. He has said those things. It is what it is. America isn't good because the people aren't thinking. Nobody's even talking about the Russia scandal. It's like he gets away with everything. He has lied many times and he is still president. Let's be real. Bill Clinton wasn't impeached because he had relations in the Oval Office. No, Bill Clinton was impeached because he lied about it. And people say, well, he lied he was on oath. Well, as the president of the United States, you're always on oath. Let's be real. Hopefully tomorrow is a better day. Hopefully today continues to be a good day. It is. It's sunny out here. I don't know where you're at. Our prayers still go out for those people in Las Vegas. Our prayers still go out to those in New Orleans. Be careful out there, y'all. Take care of yourselves and enjoy life. Because despite all of these things that are going on, we're all going to be 6 feet under one day and none of it is going to matter. Tomorrow is never promised. So till next time, thanks for tuning in and God bless.